Hey everyone, welcome to Tour Validated. My name is DJ Lantz, joined by my partner Kris McCormack, and today we are going to tell you what's in the bag. There's been a bit of a process to get everything that's in these bags in them, and now they're here, so we're going to set the standard. As we mentioned, we're going to grow this channel with you, so make sure to subscribe to the channel before we get going. But as we do progress through this video, we're going to talk about what's in there, why it's in there, and how it works. I think how it works is pretty important. So
that's exactly it. It has to have a reason to be there.
Correct. You only have 14 options, so you want to make sure those 14 do the job. Why don't you start? You've got some beautiful head covers. I'll say that right off the jump.
So I am a little bit of a head cover enthusiast, we'll say.
Okay.
So I appreciate the collection. It's bag jewelry.
Yep.
Just makes the bag look great.
It does.
And new bags need good covers.
Yeah, and that's a good thing to point out first. Big shout out to Vessel Bags for sending these over for us. As a show called Tour Validated, it's only right that you have a tour bag. So hopefully our score's lower because of the bags. I know that we have more room. It's a little heavier, but we have more room, so that's nice.
More room to play. Jumping into driver.
Yep.
I mean, if we just get right into it, take the Capone cover off here. Driver that we're playing right now, relatively new addition to the bag.
Okay.
And if we recall, a little previous video that we did doing some testing with Callaway tour heads.
Yep.
This found its way in the bag almost immediately after we shot that video.
Yep.
So this is the tour head, the triple diamond, and playing it right at that 10.5 plus, which is a little higher than probably you play as far as a loft goes.
Yep.
But shaft that we've got in there, Diamana, the 60 BF TX, it's been a great combination. Replaced the previous gamer, which was an older TaylorMade product, and I found this to be a little higher launching, a little higher spinning, and actually picked up about 9 yards of carry.
Love it.
So 9 yards of carry, I couldn't leave it out there.
Full club.
Much as I love the TaylorMade product, had to make a change.
And it is what it is. I'm a big fan of TaylorMade too, but we'll get into mine. This is a brand new edition. Again, just shot it in a previous video, so make sure to check that one out. We have the new Cobra LTDX LS. My compadre here, Kris, did a nice job fitting me for. I actually had my first round with it yesterday, and it's been very good. One fairway missed, and it was by 3 feet, but statistic-wise, one fairway missed. But I have the 9-degree head, 1 degree down at 8 degrees. I found the dispersion is a little bit tighter, distance is a little bit longer. I love the way it feels, so kept it real simple. Ventus 7X. Can't complain. Tour-proven shafts, doing the job.
Hanging out in the 60. And just for everybody out there that's watching this, so you're playing yours at 8.
Yep.
I'm playing mine at closer to 11.
Yep.
And dynamically, club head speed, where you at?
I'm probably 115 to 118, depending on how the back feels.
And I'm 108 to 110, depending upon how the back feels.
Yep.
And very, very different
Yep.
when it comes to static loft that we play.
Yeah.
I'm inside and up, and
if anything, I get a little outside in. I like to hit a little bit of a cut, and that was a big part of the video, was finding a driver that didn't go left. So this was one that we really were able to accomplish that with. So check the boxes, and very important club in the bag. Fun one to hit, but definitely starts the holes off in the right way when you're in the fairway. So.
100%.
Yeah.
So making the transition from driver, I noticed that as far as head covers in the bag, we both got 3 for the long clubs.
Yep.
But probably a little something different under yours than what I've got here. So where are you at for transition from driver into?
I have a 3 plus, also fit for by my good friend here, Kris. He knows what he's doing, if you didn't know that. I have the Callaway Rogue STLS 3 plus at 13.5 with a Ventus Black 8X. So again, we are guarding left side. I do not like to see the ball go left, and I have no problem with seeing a ball go too far. I've never found a 3-wood that went too far. I'll gladly choke up, hit a little cut if I need to. So this has been, again, 1 round in, very happy with it. And yeah, it's living in there, so 2 for 2, great job.
So talk about 3-wood as far as application usage. Are you a off the tee guy with it for positioning on a shorter, tighter par 4? Are you hitting it into par 5s? Is it both?
It's a bit of both. I'm very confident in my driver in the past, so this has been an easy transition. I like to hit driver and play aggressive as possible. So the more aggressive I can be, I feel like the better golf I'll play, but I like to have a 3-wood when it gets a little bit tight, or you want to go for a par 5 and 2 that you can hit. So this checks that box. I'm not afraid of that left side, so I can comfortably hit it off the left, hit a little cut in the fairway, and the last thing you want to do with this club is pull it out and sacrifice the distance and then go ahead and miss a fairway. So this here has done a great job at checking that box, so very happy with it.
I would say, unfortunately, that I'm all too familiar with the safe shot that gets me in trouble.
Yep.
So I do have a 3-wood in the bag.
Yep.
And I go into Stealth Plus.
Yep.
And this has been a very easy transition.
Okay.
So I often talk about when a player finds a fairway wood and a putter that they really like, those are the two hardest bags to get at, or two hardest clubs to get out of a player's bag.
100%.
And for me, the Stealth Plus, I found it extremely easy to launch, guards against that left miss that none of us like to see, and play it right at the stock 15-degree static loft, and then paired it up with a Ventus Red 7X.
Perfect.
So comparable profile through the tip section to the black, but dropping it down to the 7, and this for me is solely off the tee.
Very popular shaft in the fairway metal.
Absolutely is. And I've had no complaints with it whatsoever.
Love it.
And it checks, like you said, all the boxes. Look good, sound good, feel good.
Yep.
And the distance that I'm able to pull out of this 15-degree lofted Stealth Plus is a really good complement to that driver. And the accuracy is just a little better than what I see out of the driver when it has a tendency to get sideways. From 3-wood, where do you go?
After 3-wood, I transitioned into a hybrid. I've been a big hybrid guy since the inception of these hybrids. I've played them for a long time. I've dabbled in the driving iron, but I just haven't found that it does enough to make a difference for me. So I have a Ping G410, standard loft 3 at 19 degrees with the Acra 300H M5.
That's a lot of shaft.
It's a lot of shaft, but it's very easy for me to hit in the air. I'm very confident with the spin levels that it does. It's a very predictable club. I know what I can do. And I'm not afraid around the greens to get the hands a little high and get the little bump and roll with my hybrid.
Love that.
I'm not afraid to do it. So
I don't have that in my bag.
Definite weapon. One of my favorite clubs, one that's been in there for a long time, and no immediate changes are going to happen with this.
And we've tested it. I mean, that has found a spot in the bag and no reason to change it whatsoever.
And again, numbers are super important with what we're looking at in our bags. You got to look at the numbers. You like to be data driven, but at some point you got to see how it applies on the golf course. And does it work? Because it can work great in a simulator, but it needs to work great on a golf course, and that's why these clubs are in our bags.
That's application, 100%. It has to be able to transfer from the fitting bay, from the sim, out to the golf course.
100%. And if you guys are picking that up at all, we've got some guys who are bombing it in here. We are live in studio, going with everything going on. So build shop noises, club fitting noises, it's all happening. So sorry for that, but you know.
Life in the golf industry.
Life in the golf industry. You got to do it when you can. So your turn. What do you got?
So for me, I stayed in Stealth Plus, went down to a 5-wood.
Yep.
I have not been able to find a hybrid that matches my game ever.
Yeah.
It's just left, it is low, it is inconsistent.
Yeah.
So for me, the 5-wood play, me and Tiger Woods, we're gaming 5-wood.
Love it.
And 5-wood is definitely that comfort club for attacking the par 5.
Sure.
So if I have something that's hanging out there in that 240, 250 range and not a lot of trouble, this is just a go-to weapon for me.
Yep.
And I've had very, very good success, like I had said, going into this Stealth Plus model. And I don't have the left miss, and if I need to hit it high, a little more spin, and bring it in left to right, this has been a very, very easy transition into these two fairways for me.
Again, that's been adapted by a lot of players with ease, so I can see how these two made its way into your bag.
Now, club that I have in my bag that you have kind of sidestepped a little bit, longest iron I carry is 5-iron. Okay. And I do have a Titleist 505 driving iron in here, and this guy for me, another par 5 weapon. But this is going to be right around that 220 to 230 range, and for a tight par 4, sometimes even a long par 3, another club just doesn't go left. It spins, it launches, and ball speed consistency across the face, awesome.
You've got graphite shaft in that as well, so a little different than what you're playing in your irons.
It's a little different profile. This is going to be a little more high launch, high spin, even more so than the Ventus Red. So 85X, the Graphite Designs, it's the hybrid specific shaft that they design. And this combination for me has been just an absolute home run.
I've seen it firsthand.
And I've tried to improve upon this with hybrids. I want to hit a hybrid. It just doesn't match up for how I deliver the club and my game.
So
from hybrid, where do you go?
Well, again, I keep it pretty simple. I go 4 to pitch in the Miura TC201s. I'll pull out my 6-iron, my favorite club in the bag.
It's a good looking golf club.
Great looking golf club. Money taper 130s, half inch over. And yeah, it's been really good to me. So happy with how they play, the spin numbers that I've gotten with them. There are irons that go further. However, I really like the consistency and the feel that I get out of these Miuras. So they're pretty beat up. They've seen a lot, and you have no immediate changes are going to be made. I really like
those. Those have had some rounds put on them.
Yeah, we live in Arizona, so there are some desert shots that do occur, and that's just fine. I think golf clubs look a little better with some scars on them. So
I don't disagree with you. And
yours
looking
look very pretty though, but these are a new addition.
These are brand new.
I like it.
So again, little tip of the cap to a previous video that we did.
Yep.
I had the dynamic gold mid built up in a set of these 770s, and I've only been able to card one round with them.
Yep.
Shot 75, first time out with them, and there was a noticeable difference as far as the launch window and the consistency and dispersion downrange in the approach shots with the irons, and even on the par threes. I mean, teeing it up, great control. And one thing I really like about these is the weight category. So they kept it into that 130 gram category, and for me, I like a heavy golf club. Static weight, swing weight, I like to be able to feel it throughout the swing. And this delivered on every level.
Love it.
And the transition into the bag, previously playing a T200 from Titleist, super stable, hits it high, and I wanted something that was just a little smaller package that gave me the ability to work it. I found T200 really stable, wanted to hit it straight, and when I'm trying to shape the shot, the 770 just gave me that little bit of workability, but still maintain forgiveness, and been a home run. Really happy so far.
Yeah, very popular iron, and that shaft is one that I haven't spent time with, but we've seen a lot of people really enjoy testing it, and Tiger put it in play. That was one of the more notable people that put it in right away into his driving iron that we saw. So
absolutely,
pretty neat to see a tour adaptation in a shaft like that, but what they've done is really cool. So
I've had nothing negative to say about it.
Love it.
And I was an X100 player for years, got away from it for a little bit, trying to chase a little bit of launch and spin. Had some issues with the back that dropped the launch down a little bit, and now this has me right back to where I was before the injury.
Next up for me, I go into wedges. I carry 50, 56, and 62. The 50 and 56 are both Titleist Vokey Design SM8s. Very particular with my wedges. I like a certain grind, so I play F in the 50, which is very common, and then I play the 56 degree, 10 degree bounce in the S grind. Big fan of Steve Stricker. Not going to say that was the only factor, but
it was still a factor.
It was still a factor. Big fan of Steve Stricker, so I do carry the S grind, very happy with it. And then the 62 is a TaylorMade high toe. I'm a big fan of high toe. You've got the grooves all the way out to the front edge. And I find that when I'm trying to hit those softer shots, I tend to like to work it a little more towards the toe to keep that ball dead. So yeah, I keep it pretty simple. The 62 is that trouble club around the greens, get it high and fast. Everything else I do with my 56.
Okay, so the 62 for you is just touch and feel shots around
100%.
the green.
Yeah, 56, anything 70 to 115 is that window that I like to work. If I can hit this full, I will, but you know, most of the time a 62 is not meant to be full swung. This is like short-sided bunker shot, got yourself in some trouble, fired at some pins playing too aggressive, and that thing's gonna save you. So that's the wedges. What are you looking at?
So similar. I got 4 wedge system that I'm running. So pitching wedge here for 770, I do have it bent right at 46 degrees. From the pitching wedge in the 770, transition into that milled grind from TaylorMade, milled grind 3, and go 50, 54, and 60.
Sweet.
And kind of similar to how you have your wedge set up, the 60 for me is just touch and feel shots. Very rarely do I ever take a full swing with it. So the 54 for me is like your 56. That is my utility club for the knockdown, for the pitch and run, the bump and run, anything that I need to put more than just a pitch swing on, I'm going right to the 54. And I play the standard bounce setup on all 3 wedges. Haven't done anything as far as customizing the grind or bounce. And these have been in the bag since a little before they came out to launch, and been really, really happy with them.
Love it.
So my buddy Greg Cesario at TaylorMade actually did the design, and he helped me with the setup, and haven't turned back since.
Love it. Well, last up, we've got the putter.
Flat stick.
So I'm a big shoe guy, so my head cover is going to nod the cap a little to the shoes. So that's always fun to show a little bit of style with your head cover, but I don't obviously have as much as you do. But I play the TaylorMade My Spider X. I have it customized here, a little bit of green and then blacked out, and I've really enjoyed this grip. This grip has been really fun.
A Garson grip.
Yes. So I'm a claw person, and it just locks in. So really happy with how it feels, and obviously such an important club in the bag, and the numbers backed it up. So keep it simple with the putter as well. Like I said, I don't like to mess too much with all the tech and do different things. Just give me something I like, feels good, and it goes in the bag. So that is the putter. What do you got?
I mean, it makes sense to me. I was a Spider X guy.
Yep.
Until they came out with the Spider GT.
Okay.
And I've been a Spider guy since the original satellite dish on the end of a stick.
Yep.
And if you remember that first Spider, the footprint on that thing, massive.
Big boy.
It was a dinner plate.
Yep.
And couldn't miss with it.
Yep.
I've tried going Blade, I've tried going Scotty, I've tried going, the milled fancy boutique-y putters,
yeah.
and I keep coming back to the Spider family.
You gotta do what works.
And this is the most stock club in the whole bag. I mean, this was tested at the TaylorMade launch day, and this came out of the bag on the range, didn't touch it, dropped a half a dozen balls, started rolling it, and went, this one's coming home.
Yep.
And the TaylorMade guys are going, it's not even out yet. And I go, well, it's out of your stock. It's in my bag.
I won't take a picture of it.
No pictures.
No pictures.
No pictures. Went right in the bag.
Covered up with a nice, beautiful head cover, and off you go.
And that's it. And I've made more putts with this thing than probably any other previous Spider generation. And visually, it's a much different shape than what I was used to. But the feel and consistency off the face, I love the insert.
Yep.
I just like the feel and the balance of it. The new fluted hosel design in the shaft really gives me a better feel and feedback coming through impact.
Yep.
And consistency-wise on speed control, the little intermediate putts, and even the little knee knockers, the 4 and 5 footers.
Important ones.
I have no complaints with it.
Love
and
it.
it's not coming out of the bag anytime soon.
Love it. When you can commit to a putter, keep it there, don't change it, just like the 3-wood. So that's that. I mean, we could dive into the bag, but we can do that later. We're letting the viewers know what's in our bags. So this is what's in there. This is what's there to say. If we make any updates, we'll make sure to update you guys. But make sure to like, subscribe, follow us at Tour Validated. Now you know what's in our bags. Let us know what's in yours, and we'll look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks.